I don't care if you're not watching the show. I don't care. If I saw it, y'all had to see it too. Yeah, you're gonna be scarred just like me. Y'all, as I'm editing this video, I don't know what was wrong with me. I think maybe I was delirious. I should not be doing these reviews late at night. But that's the only time I have free on Fridays. So I'm just gonna redo the intro real quick. We're reviewing Never Ever Met, season 1, episode 3. Like the video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. Hopefully the rest of the video is coherent, and if it's not, child, it's late. Okay? Nothing I can do. Last episode, we were introduced to the Boom Boom Room. All right? And so far, the people who have fully booked it up are Jay and, not Jay, what's her name? Josh and Shay. Come on, not a couple name already. And a couple that has no chance in seeing the Boom Boom Room anytime soon is Sienna and Brandon.
I don't have communication issues with you, and you know that.
It's like you keep going and going and going, and then you work yourself up.
I was being vulnerable, then you sat there and started laughing.
I've never laughed at somebody's feelings.
You have a nervous laughter. I have a flair for the dramatic. Laughter kind of, it hurt me because I didn't realize where it was coming from.
Sienna claims that she does not have issues with communication. You sure? Oh, okay, girl. I mean, all right. She does say that she didn't appreciate Brandon laughing when she is doing what she claims to be being vulnerable. I don't know. They could have cut that out, but I was struggling to see a moment of her being vulnerable when they were at the pool table. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. But Brandon laughing in a moment that you perceive to be a vulnerable moment is off-putting. So I hear her on that one. I still don't think that warrants her calling him a bitch. No. I also think that she moves the goalpost and she doesn't see it. She doesn't acknowledge that whatever you're claiming is the issue right now, in about 3 minutes, it's gonna be a different issue. And if I resolve this, you're gonna say, well, that was never the problem. It was this. Like, she has this weird, I don't know, she has this weird alternate reality that she's living in as a viewer. It could be different. She could be portrayed this way deliberately by production, but we're seeing this one-sided perspective when it comes to Sienna. She only sees things her way. And if you don't see it her way, you are the enemy. I do understand that relationships over the phone are completely different to relationships in person. So her saying that they might need more time together to get used to each other, I hear that. I do. There are idiosyncrasies that you would never pick up on over the phone, where now in person, you're just like, yeah, this would actually piss me off. For example, the laughing. Brandon does admit that he has a nervous laugh. He's always been this way. And she says she's a very dramatic person. She's always been that way. They're both gonna have to try to either get used to that or decide, nope, not for me. Some of the other couples are now talking about the couples in the house who are struggling. Obviously, Brandan and Sienna are one of them. And the other one is Aaron, Jay, and JoAnna. When did we start calling this lady Jody? Is it JoAnna or Jody? I don't know. I'm confused, but I'm going to call her JoAnna.
They said she was extremely upset is all I heard. And,
No, she's not upset. That's just how she talks.
They're not friends.
Come on. What do you think about Aaron and his girl, Jody? They never really interact.
You ain't even talking to you over here, and why did you come?
There is no need to rationalize whether or not JoAnna is into Aaron. No, she's not. There's nothing she could do, nothing she could say, nothing she could whatever to convince me that she has any kind of attraction to this man. She don't want him. She don't like him. She's trying to go home with somebody else, namely Chris. Well, we're gonna get into that a little bit later. Yeah, there's no hope for those two. With Brandan and Sienna, the weird thing is, as toxic as they are, as argumentative as they are, there is more hope with them than with the other couple. And with them, I kind of feel like, and I'm going to go out on a limb here. I know people don't like that I'm a benefit of the doubt kind of person, but that's just how I am, okay? Your girl studied psychology. We're prone to see things from multiple perspectives. I want to venture into the thought process of, is Sienna reacting this way out of fear? Hear me out, okay? Talking to somebody for 10 months or dating, I don't know what they're calling it, these two, but being in an intimate relationship with somebody for 10 months, it's a different reality than now being faced with them and having to decide, are we going to do life together? And with him, there's a lot of stakes because he has 2 kids. If he's gonna do this, he's gonna do this. With Sienna, I don't know what she's used to in relationships. I don't know how many relationships she's been in, but I think the reality of how real, how serious this could be is making her want to give as many reasons as possible for Brandon to say, you know what, I don't want to do this, so that she doesn't have to. Because she's creating all these problems and I'm thinking you could simply say, I don't want to be with you. You don't have to keep moving the goalposts to the point where, you know, he's over it. You don't have to keep doing these things. If you don't want to be in it, sis, just don't be in it. I think she wants to, but she's operating in that fear and it's keeping her from actually connecting with this man. Later on in the episode, she says that she has a tough exterior and this whole being rough around the edges thing is kind of a defense mechanism. But once you work past that, she's the person who's going to give you the world. Unfortunately, a lot of people are not going to stick around long enough to figure out that you're the type to give them the world. They see you as a person who's giving them a hard time day in and day out. Eventually, they're going to sign out. Who wants to be a part of that? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, with her, do I feel like she should be in a relationship right now? Absolutely not. Do I feel like she should try something with Brandon? Absolutely not. But do I also feel like she's the type of person who is just so afraid of commitment, so afraid of something real that she would rather self-sabotage? Yes. The couples play a game of superlatives. Basically, everyone was going around voting who was most likely to, similar to what you would do in high school or something like that. Sienna and Brandon were voted most dramatic. They were also voted most likely to need couples therapy. You know, we gotta remove the stigma of therapy, okay? Therapy doesn't always mean a bad thing, but these two, they need therapy. Yeah, they do. Individual therapy, not even couples therapy, because this couple is dead. Individual therapy. Shay and Josh were voted most romantic. Millie and Greg were voted most in need of the intimacy suite. Brandan and Sienna were voted least compatible. People think that she needs a man with a backbone. Has Brandan proved to be somebody without a backbone? Like, Sienna has proven to be very combative, very argumentative. So why are we looking at Brandon to say, well, he's just not strong enough? What? Okay, all right, let's move on. They were also voted the most argumentative and the most toxic. So in one of the questions, Aaron H called out Aaron J's connection with JoAnna, and she got very defensive about that.
You two are the least together.
I don't need to be up in anybody's face.
Do you guys feel that there is a connection?
Yes!
And I don't see an issue with that. There are some couples who live in literal separate houses.
We're trying to force something to take place when it's gonna happen naturally.
I don't know, mama. There's taking it slow and then there's not taking it at all. You're not taking it at all. I would call this slow. And then Aaron, I know what he was trying to do, but it didn't land the way that he thought. Aaron is like, well, there are married couples who live in separate homes and they love each other. Sweetie, that's not. Okay. Then we see Miss JoAnna, Jody. Can we call it flirting? I don't know. I think flirting is a stretch, but she is entertaining sus conversation with Chris. She's being very flattery of him and his relationship. And I'm thinking, you don't even say half of the nice things to Aaron as you do to Chris. Let Chris mind his own relationship. Sis, mind yours. And she's here like, we talk. We're just not all over each other. Do you talk? Because people are noticing that you talk more to a man in another relationship than you do to your own man. Tarana pulls up and she tells the group that they're going to have a family and friends day, basically. I don't know if it was the plan to have everybody on the same day or if we just stuck with one couple per day, because we only saw one couple's friends. The point is, Brandon was first and his friend, Brandon's friend Matt came to weigh in on the relationship.
She called me a bitch. So, like, we've been beefing a lot. Like, you're never with Brandon.
Like,
Bro,
you're not gonna win.
Yeah.
You're not gonna win. Find out what your communication skills are from now and then see how it transpires.
Now, I don't like coming for people's appearance, okay? I don't. But can I just say, Matt's choice in hairstyle makes me question his discernment. I'm just saying, I question your discernment. That's all. Let's move on. He is happy that Brandon is trying to stick it out, trying to work through their issues, because just because you're having an argument or you're having a few rough days doesn't mean you throw the whole relationship out the window. He should, but it doesn't always mean that you should do that. Brandon is still somewhat optimistic. He's saying he's optimistic, but I think we can all tell by this point he's kind of over it. So yeah, Sienna's friend Gigi came, and I will say, the way that Sienna painted the story, it did make her seem like the victim. So I understand why Gigi was solely on her side.
He thinks I'm overly emotional. He spoke to another woman in the house.
Another woman?
And he was like, I'm bored. This is a boring, yeah.
Now, giving Gigi the benefit of the doubt, Sienna made it seem like Brandon was the only problem here. So her siding with her friend makes sense. However, I do think that Sienna acts the way that she does because she might have enablers in her circle. You mean to tell me this man that your friend has been connecting with for almost a year is all of a sudden this tyrant, is all of a sudden this horrible man, this man who has all these pitfalls, and you don't think your friend had any part to play in their arguments? It was completely, oh, well, I don't like him. Huh? Yeah, Sienna lives in an echo chamber, and I can see why she acts the way she does at her big age, mind you, at her big age, because the people around her aren't checking her. Even if she painted the story the way that she did, there's gotta be some question from your friend to say, and what did you have to do with any of this? No question like that was asked. Aaron and Diamond at this point are the therapists of the villa, and they talk to Josh and Shay regarding this 3-year-old baby that just happened to pop up in the span of their 12-year relationship.
She told me you had a baby on her.
It was literally just a roommate situation, and the baby ended up coming.
Okay.
I mean, she was definitely upset about it, which I understood. I was
Right.
mad about it too.
Right.
And he told me exactly when it happened.
Hey,
Yeah, I got all
you got your closure. I'm glad, because that's a hurtful thing.
This man said, ain't nobody supposed to be together from this show. This man said that it was just a roommate situation that got messy, and then a child was born. Your roommate, it got messy, and a child was born. You just fell into your roommate's coochie? Like, be for real. Be friggin' for real. You fell into your friend's coochie? You fell into your roommate's coochie? This is the type of guy, and I don't like this thought process, but Josh falls into the category. This is the type of guy where you have to be wary of his female friends. You do. You just fell into your roommate's coochie, and now you guys have a child together? Yeah, no. Every female friend that you have, I need to vet them all. And even after I vet them, I don't know if I could trust you with them alone. I'm sorry. In our 12-year relationship, because these two are the two who actually claim that in the 12 years they were together. They were in a relationship. In the 12 years. You fell into your roommate's vagina? Please. Diamond has a talk with her daughter over the phone, and she talks about Aaron being the same person over the phone as he is in person.
How much you love me?
Too much.
If you're gonna be in my life, you're gonna be in my life. I want to get approval for Aaron and I. We already had, chemistry over the phone or whatever, and that's exactly how it is here.
So far, I would say that Diamond and Aaron are the couple that make the most sense to me. I think that they have the most potential to make things work on the outside. The only question I have is that proposal, because they are another couple who was saying, oh no, we were together, we were dating in the time that they were talking before coming on the show. So when things got hard, he was willing to commit himself to somebody else and then was like, oh, sorry, that was just hasty, backtracked, and now y'all are back together. When push comes to shove, is Aaron gonna jump ship? I don't know. I have questions about that. They are grown, so they're probably likely to say the whole, when you know, and we don't need to spend 2-3 years. Well, they spent 5, so I don't know how valid that is. We don't need to spend 2-3 years dating to know if we want to be together. We're just going to be together. Cool. Love that for you. But when the going gets tough, is Aaron going to be able to fight through it, or is he going to jump ship? Millie and Greg are getting hot and heavy in the pool, but he's getting a little too hot and too heavy with Millie, and she's starting to pull away, literally.
He sees me as long-term, and I see him as long-term as well.
I like the fact that she's making me work for it, that Millie's making me work for it.
It wasn't like you caught me beautiful and then gave me a kiss. Slow down, make it organic. Yeah. Make me feel like this is just more than you're trying to get in my pants.
When have y'all ever cocked your neck back when somebody who you were into was trying to kiss you? When have y'all ever done that? And if you missed it, at the beginning of the kiss, she swerved him, gave him the cheek. I said, oh my gosh, she hates you. Greg, she hates you. Okay, so later on, Millie is talking to the girls and she's saying that she wished that it was more organic. I hear you, sis. Because some guys, when they want to kiss you, they're just going to kiss you. They're not going to wait for the right moment and all that stuff. I hear you. However, where she loses me is she says, he didn't even call me beautiful and he didn't this and he didn't that. Correct me if I'm wrong. He has called her beautiful and he has expressed interest in her sexually, mentally, and in other ways. So I feel like that was already there. So I can understand why Greg wouldn't feel like it was necessary to say, hey, you're beautiful before I kiss you. I feel like that's already been established. So just like me, Millie is a hopeless romantic. So we do have a tendency to want the romance, the extravagant, professions of love and stuff like that. Totally hear her on that. But we also have a tendency to over romanticize certain things. And I think that she was expecting something that, one, how is Greg even going to know that you wanted that before the kiss? And two, it might just be a little unrealistic, especially when he's already said, you are beautiful. I do want you in this way. Like, I don't feel like it's necessary to keep reiterating that. Is it? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe she's words of affirmation and she constantly needs to hear that she's beautiful. Yeah, I don't know. That could just be a Millie thing. Chris told Sendia that he has no plans on flirting with anybody else in this villa. However, now that JoAnna, has been pulling away from Aaron, it seems like these two, I don't know what they got going on, but it's something.
Brenda's one of my favorite people in this house. Jody, you know that. I told you that. Me and you, we're just like always on the same page. Like, you don't have to force it. I'm not egotistic at all.
Accepting people's differences, and that's it. Like, that's what I think humanity is really about.
If I was Aaron, I would think that this is so disrespectful. So disrespectful. You barely talk to me, let alone be in my presence. And now when we are here sitting together, we could be connecting. You want to talk across me to another man in another relationship. Are you serious right now? Are you serious right now? And Sendia has this complex when it comes to Chris. And he is showing her point blank, I will talk to other women in front of you in a way that's a little bit suspect and have no care about it. And you know what Sandia's going to do? She's going to make excuses. You think Sandia's going to leave him? No. She's going to make excuses to justify why he's doing what he's doing. Now, is there foul play? Not really. But there is a better way for them to have this conversation that doesn't feel a little disrespectful. Like a little bit. It was a little disrespectful. I'm sorry, it was.
The way I'm seeing it is, how dare you put in more effort making other people feel comfortable or assuring other people when you can't do the same thing in your own relationship. I think that's what makes it come across as disrespectful to me. It's not outright disrespect. They're not saying anything that could actually be seen as flirting. but it seems like they're putting in more energy elsewhere. And as the person who's in a relationship with them, I would wonder, why can't you give me that same energy?
It was. But there isn't any foul play yet, so I guess Aaron and Sandy are just gonna have to wait until something actually pops off so they can have a reason to be upset with their partners. Then we see Aaron and the other Aaron and Diamond secure their slot for the intimacy suite, also known as the Boom Boom Room. And you know, I don't know if we should have been there with them.
I will keep myself till I'm married. It feels good.
He's done working feet. I have a feet fetish, so.
These two were not lying when they said that an audience does not bother them whatsoever. Okay, Aaron J was going, no, H. Aaron H was going ham on them toes. You know what the gag was for me? Why did Diamond say? Sorry. Why did Diamond say, you know, I want to save myself for marriage? Do you? Okay. How is this gonna help with that though? This is gonna help you save yourself. He is licking up on your erogenous zones, sister. You are going to do the nasty. Like, be for real. This night, they claimed that all they did was hold each other and go to bed. But another night, if he's still sucking them toes, if he's still licking on them erogenous zones, that's what it's called, right? Child, whatever. You're gonna knock boots. Be for real. Sienna, Miss I have no problems with communication, is clearly struggling to communicate with Brandon right now.
Are you sure you want to stay here and talk to me? I don't want to bore you. You embarrassed me on national television and called me boring.
I'm pretty sure I was talking about the position.
What did you tell Millie?
I mean, some of that's like private.
What did you tell her? What did you say?
You're developing your own
What did you say? Developing my own. What did you say about me?
God.
I talk to you. I tell you how I feel in your face. You don't need to be talking about me behind my back. Get your goddamn foot off my back.
Okay.
Get it off my back. Talking about people behind their back. How is that helping me?
I think that Brandon could have, at the very least, told Sienna the essence of the conversation he had with Millie. I don't think that was so hard to do. She was pestering him about the situation, but him withholding the information was only making the matter worse. He could have just simply just said, hey, I was feeling very frustrated about our conversation. I wanted to get, you know, another woman's perspective on if I misstepped or how could I resolve it. Something. Say something. Saying nothing is only going to force her to keep asking and asking and asking and asking. And then this girl, she just went on the attack. She went from 0 to 100 so fast. So fast. And I'm thinking, this is scary behavior. I'm sorry. I think that she could have, instead of going from 0 to 100, I think that she could have tried to understand why they both even looked to other people to get some insight from in the first place. Like, okay, fine. You talked to somebody else. It pissed me off. But why did you have to talk to somebody else? What is going wrong between us that you feel like you can't come and talk to me? That's how you communicate. Then we see a weird clip of Millie and Greg talking about Brandan and Sienna. And Millie says that she is similar to Sienna in the sense that a good round or two, you know, would do Sienna some good. She just needs to be dicked down, essentially. And I'm thinking, are you not the same woman who is saying that Greg's advances are too much for you? He's too aggressive with his pursuit of your body. But all of a sudden now, Sienna just needs to be dicked down one good time and things will be fine in your relation. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. Brandon then talks to some other people about his relationship, and the consensus amongst the group is that, listen, this relationship is dead in the water. Just count your losses and go about your day.
She's a woman, so she handles differently than how men handle it.
Oh, yeah, you gotta get rid of that. Nah, you done.
I must be boo-boo the fool.
At the end of the day, both of y'all.
Okay. Such a pattern now. I know that will change in 3 hours, 4 hours.
You feel like she's worth that.
She's not.
Because Sienna is just such a child, just a grown child, we can't even see the issues that Brandon has. This girl threw the flowers at the man and then stomped away like she was having a tantrum like a 3-year-old. Baby, if I was Brandan, I wouldn't want to be with you either because I already got 2 kids. I don't want a third. I'm good. This girl, truly, And then, like I said, we don't really see the issues with Brandan, but according to Shay, Brandan is the type of person who holds grudges and can't let the past go. But sweetie, how can he let the past go when it's happening right now? She is kicking off right now. She's having a tantrum right now. The miscommunication is happening right now. It's not like he's holding this thing against her and he's constantly bringing it up. Sienna is doing that. Sienna is doing that. She even brought up the whole, well, I don't want to say anything that's going to bore you. I don't want you to think I'm boring. If you had a problem with the boring conversation, you should have had that conversation when it happened. Or at least the same day that it happened. You're bringing it up days later and throwing it in his face. Like, girl, come up. I can't. These people, you would think these people were younger than me. The way that they're acting. My brain hurts, so let's end it here. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Y'all keep watching these videos because as soon as y'all stop watching these videos, I'm gonna stop reviewing. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So y'all gotta keep tuning in so that I tune in, okay? Okay.